And I'd like to welcome all of you to the 35th annual meeting of the Community Land Trust in the Southern Berkshires. For 35 years, we've been holding and leasing land on behalf of all of you to ensure that it's permanently accessible to the people who live and work here. We control the land use, and therefore we control the affordability, and we ensure good environmental stewardship. Today, the Community Land Trust in the Southern Berkshires owns 49 acres in Southern Berkshire County. We own 11 acres in Egremont, where there's a 5-house settlement, 21 acres in Great Barrington at Forest Row, where there are 18 owner-occupied homes. And we own the land at Indian Line Farm, which is a 120-family CSA in South Egremont. Community ownership of land has become a core element of sustainability. That's the principle of continuously renewing the resources that we consume. And if you think about it, what makes a community sustainable? It's our food security, our energy independence, equitable housing, and a thriving local economy surrounded by a clean, natural environment. To be permanent, all of these things require permanent access to the land. Our Community Land Trust has been quietly doing its job of owning land for 35 years. We own the land, we administer the land leases, and we manage the purchase and sale of the buildings on our land to ensure they remain affordable. It is not sexy work, but it's really critical to the quality of life of the people that we serve. Today, our land trust is invigorated, our mission is renewed, and we are driven to increase our capacity. 2 seminal events happened this past year, both of them last spring, that are motivating us to expand our mission and our geographical footprint. Last March 2014, the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission, which is our regional planning agency, put out a master plan report for the county called Sustainable Berkshires, which included a countywide analysis of housing in neighborhoods. To address the issue of access, affordability, and the quality of housing in our county, the report recommended a county-wide expansion of the Community Land Trust model. A month after that, in April 2014, we produced the Farmland Access Symposium in Pittsfield, and a small group of us planned this event thinking it was going to be kind of wonky, kind of policy-oriented, and we would be lucky if we got 50 people. Our goal was 75 people, and 125 people showed up. We had standing room only. The discussion was really intense. And the message came through loud and clear, and that is that we need more farmers on the land and more land in farming here in Berkshire County. Of course, the Community Land Trust has an important role to play in owning community farms and in helping to conserve and make affordable land for farmer and farm worker housing. In response to these 2 events, our Board of Trustees has been meeting for a year to chart a course for our organization, really a new course, a broader course. We looked at other organizations and consulted experts in housing, conservation, and nonprofit structure. We saw the need to develop education programs, to undertake broader fundraising initiatives, and to organize at a community level in places where we are not known. It's been a lot of work. We've spent a lot of hours meeting, a lot of nights reading pretty boring documents. My colleagues on the board have been committed, diligent, inspired, and professional, and we are psyched about our plan of action for 2015 and beyond. Now, the IRS has had a small role in this process. They designate the activities that constitute a public charity, and the Community Land Trust in the Southern Berkshires is not a public charity. Donations to us are not tax deductible. We cannot apply for grants. And this is for a really good reason. because we believe in order for homeownership to build wealth, we must allow the homeowners on our land to have equity in their homes. We want them to invest in our community and profit at the sale of their house. Allowing them to profit helps build our local economy, but it is what keeps us, our organization, from being defined as a public charity. So to expand our capacity and our geographic footprint, to form new community land trusts and support them in their work, and to provide education programs for municipalities and nonprofits and farmers, we need to be able to receive donations of money and land, and we need to be able to apply for grants. So we have established an affiliated nonprofit organization, Berkshire Community Land Trust. Berkshire Community Land Trust will have a mission of education and fundraising. It will share a board of trustees with the Community Land Trust in the Southern Berkshires, and it will share membership. This two-tier structure will enable us to operate both as a public charity and receive tax-deductible donations of money and land, while it enables us to continue to hold and lease land to homeowners with equity. There's a lot of details to all of this explained on our website, communitylandtrust.org. There you will find the bylaws and the articles of incorporation of both organizations, and I invite you to check it out and learn more about our work. I hope once we get our IRS designation that you will become a donor to the Community Land Trust. The Berkshire Community Land Trust. Now, I'd like to introduce our Board of Trustees. And before I do, I'd just like to explain that community land trust boards have a very specific three-part structure to ensure open, transparent, democratic operations. 1/3 of our board are leaseholders living on our land. 1/3 of our board are elected by you, our members. And 1/3 of the board are professionals appointed by the other 6 members for their relevant expertise. So I'd like to ask our board members to just stand up wherever you are in the room so that you can be acknowledged. Our 3 leaseholding members are Bill Allen, Robin Zemer, and Susan Witt. Our 3 elected trustees are Kathy Orlando, Joyce Sheffy, and me. And our 3 appointed trustees are Harry Conklin, John Fulop, and Stephen Green. I'd like to ask you to please give these people a hand. They worked really hard this year, and there's a lot of hard work ahead. We think long-term. A community land trust has to think long-term. Land is permanent, it changes slowly. Long-term isn't 5 years or 10 years. It's not 20 years. Long-term is 100 years. We need a 100-year plan. Kids who are born today could live to be 100 years old. And we sure hope some of the children born here today will live their whole lives in Berkshire County. Lifelong residents give us strength and character and security and history. The work of the Community Land Trust is to plan for those future generations, for their food security, their housing, their energy independence, and their local economy. To thrive, they'll need access to land for 100 years and the 100 years after that. You know, we often criticize people for short-term thinking. Our government thinks short-term in terms of 2- and 4-year election cycles. We criticize corporate culture for thinking super short-term in terms of quarterly earnings reports. Short-term thinking robs the future to pay the present. So a community land trust is a way to seize opportunities today and hold on to them for the future. We are a tool for regenerative land use. Our goal is to create permanent solutions for access to land. I ask you to think long-term about the Berkshires with our community land trusts. We're evolving to do a better job to serve you and our community. So please keep an eye on us and support us in the year ahead. Thank you.